Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LALALAND. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning LALALAND, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be a Good Morning LALALAND.
Right, it's all about Thought Thursday today. And if you want to know the mindset and skill set of mastering your industry, you don't want to miss today's show. We have a full house with incredible, extraordinary people.
Thought Thursday.
Thought Thursday.
Ready.
And the studio is packed. We are absolutely #community powered today. I'd like to welcome to the show. Look at all of those guests back there. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. And look at that beautiful spread, courtesy of the greatest neighborhood restaurant in town, the Henry. Thank you so much for bringing this beautiful coffee, cakes, Felipe. We were so grateful for this.
You're welcome.
We just love you. It's a pleasure to share the sweet treats with everybody. We've got two of the most stylish twins in the house, the Horns of Joy, the Potash twins. Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Can you hear us?
Oh, we can hear you.
Good, good.
Yeah. Rob and I met them at a red carpet. Turns out they're the hosts of Bravo TV's new show, Beats and Bites. Ooh, can't wait to hear more about it. We have got Roy Sekoff. He is making his debut as an author with lax self-control, true stories he waited to tell until his parents were dead. Ooh, I've got to know more. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning to you.
And Millie, gorgeous. Look at you back there. You are such a goddess.
I'm not gorgeous?
You are. But, you know, she's sitting next to one of the top 10 sexiest men ever.
Yes.
David
I'm taking that title, boys.
The twins are two of Instagram's most stylish. So we have the most stylish, we have the most sexy, and we have the most delicious. Felipe, the general manager of the Henry. Good morning.
Good morning, the greatest neighborhood restaurant.
Absolutely.
Same.
It is the best. And that gluten-free Pop-Tart.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, come on. But I am so excited because Marcus Kalenko is in the house. He has captured. Hello. You are this world-renowned photographer, captured some of the most iconic images of all time. I'm so excited for the new exhibit that's opening up in Beverly Hills next week. Thank you for being here with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And every one of you. So we cannot wait to dive back in the studio and get to know more about your stories later in the show.
So exciting. I mean, this is a full house. Incredible.
It is.
Masters upon masters in their industries. So cool.
Thought Thursday.
So I just got to say the coffee, it's doing it.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what they put in it, but it's like this, like roasted, extra roasted, like taste in there. So good.
I should just, they should just have a subscription service where I send part of my check to the Henry every single month because it's like I find something new to get addicted to on their menu.
For
It's
sure.
amazing.
Well, we also feature the Henry in the latest issue of Focus magazine right here. We welcome them to the neighborhood. It's incredible to share in their community, that is for sure. And by the way, one of the Focus TV OG family members is going to be here on the show a little later. The creator of Pure Lease, Jen Yun. She has got this Asian beauty, secret wisdom, her heritage. Oh my God, she has changed my face, helped my skin so much. I can't wait for her to share some of her secrets.
Like studio, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's just talk for a minute because we're just going to have one segment up here before we get into our interviews. We want to talk about Thought Thursday and wisdom of the day. And I was thinking, because yesterday I'm on Skype a lot with clients and things like that, and there's a few people I work with also in Philippines and people all over, and it's all relationships building your business. And some people are easier to work with than others. Let's face the fact, you know. And I was just thinking about how there's personalities, and some personalities are so easy to get along with. Some are challenging, but the truth is that we all have quirks. If you get along, if you work with someone long enough, you start to see their quirks, right? And so it brought me to the principle, which is really the 12th principle of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is we all have some addiction at some realm, but it's principles over personalities. And I think it's so important to know that when we get in a place where we're working with somebody or a friendship and people have their quirks, that we remember that we are passionate and compassionate and really have grace in all of our relationships, no matter how quirky someone is, right?
Yeah, so what does that mean exactly, Erin? So principles over personality?
So in this, they actually say that we're actually here to to do honesty, humility, compassion, tolerance, and patience with everybody, no matter what. That doesn't mean we don't put boundaries on relationships. That doesn't mean we are put in circumstances with people that are chaotic or dysfunctional, but we always stay on our principle.
So for me, the way I think about that is I always want to lead with warmth, right? Or I always want to lead with honesty, but I want that honesty to be compassionate. So is that the idea?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what someone's coming at, they can be a jerk or a bee or whatever you want to call them, and it doesn't mean that we have to react. We can stay in our grace, stay in our principles, and go, thank you, but I'm going to now put a boundary on this relationship.
I think that's the greatest point for me is that, like, I think it's easy to get thrown off center or off balance by people because of their differing personalities. But when you are centered in sort of who you are, and you're, not only confident in that, but you're comfortable in that, I think it's a lot easier to sort of stay on center. Or in center.
One of the greatest lessons I've learned in that recently in handling the community's personalities is that as long as I maintain my integrity and am responsible only for how I feel and approach a situation, I don't have to take responsibility for others' reactions or their emotions. And to let go of that responsibility has been so freeing. So freeing. And I hadn't even realized how much I thought I was responsible for other people's reactions and emotions around me, and that I was carrying that burden. Once I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not responsible for this.
Right.
Ugh.
It's the biggest trap. It is the biggest trap.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the point is to ask yourself, what are the principles you want to live by for within your own? We all have a spiritual practice within ourselves, whatever that may be, just life, however you want to live life. So what are those principles for yourself, and how are you going to maintain those with the people in your life? So on that note, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to get into some amazing interviews. Stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back.
I can't wait. Welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jessica Moyer, host of LA Unscripted and co-host of Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show. And today I have the privilege to announce the latest issue of Focus magazine, and we're calling it the Empowerment Issue. These pages are filled with some of the most amazing personalities that are truly empowering others. On the cover is Ms. Kelly Gores, a filmmaker who's dedicated her work to empowering others to take charge of their own health and wellness and heal. We're also proud to feature Mr. Mark Teschner, a 9-time Emmy Award-winning casting director for General Hospital. I had the honor of interviewing Mr. Teschner at Prospect Studios, where he is empowering some of the most talented personalities in daytime television. It is an honor to feature Ms. Ellen Rakuten, a 13-time Emmy Award-winning producer known for her work empowering others through The Oprah Show and now in Red Table Talks. She is a true entertainment mogul, a loving mother, and an absolute empowerista. And speaking of empowerista, the creator of the Empowerista show herself, Ms. Alex Worley. And where can you find an LA dining experience that feels like home? Right in Encino on Ventura Boulevard. I had the honor of interviewing Chef Nigel at Davenport's, where it's good food, good friends, and great family. And Focus magazine readers now have a new morning routine. Bel Air is welcome to Mr. Warren Kalute, aka Chef Warren of Holy Juice, an incredible juice bar right at the Bel Air Glen Center. Also in this issue, Mr. Kim Vo, known as the best blonder in the business. No matter what celebrity he's working with, he always goes back to his roots. A special shout out to Ms. Lillian Garcia, who I had the honor to interview for the previous cover of Focus magazine. Part of her empowering tribe is From Music to Mindset with Arden Kalin and Greg Sims with a practical goal-setting technique. And Elizabeth Winkler contributed a very empowering piece from Laura Wasser, who is changing the face with divorce because it's over easy. Also featured fellow TV host Ms. Lisa Torres, who's empowering us to live a very high vibe life. And not all heroes wear capes, and we're proud to feature Focus TV family member Ms. Sally Colon, the filmmaker behind Women Like Us documentary. And our travel editor, Ms. Wendy Brokaw, contributed a great piece about a chic hotel in the desert. Empowering us all to crack the code on social media, our friend, Ms. Emily Raber. And it was an honor to celebrate the 45th annual Daytime Television Awards. It was conscious conversation and red carpets, an epic week of glamour and giving back. I had the honor of interviewing some of the most prominent people and personalities in daytime television. A special thanks to Mr. Kent Speakman and Connect TV for partnering with Good Morning La La Land to empower us and entertain us. It's all empowerment in this issue of Focus magazine. We are the only magazine in the country that offers a full video library to complement our print features. Your favorite interviews are also available as a podcast on iTunes. I'm Jez Lamoye, and for all of the entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment we share today, don't miss the latest issue of Focus magazine. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited because Felipe Estevez is in the house.
Yeah.
And you are representing our favorite neighborhood restaurant, the Henry.
My favorite too. The Harry.
Look at these amazing pastries.
Oh, tell us what
my
we have
goodness.
here.
What we don't have here, I pretty much brought everything, all the greatest hits from the Henry. So from gluten-free to savory pastries, we have our famous savory ham and cheese on, blueberry muffin, and we have a gluten-free Pop-Tarts, which is very popular with the kids when they come in for breakfast. Everybody wants some Pop-Tarts. And famous salted caramel roll and macaroons. Right. So we have chocolate raspberries. I mean, I brought pretty much everything for you guys to taste.
So the Henry is kind of like the Cheers for us. We go there all the time. We love it because it's chic. It's very aesthetically pleasing. It's close. And what I love about it the most is that you guys have kind of like an inside-outside feeling. So I feel like I'm not just in,
That's
in a dark restaurant.
I mean, the ambiance, it's everything, especially for Sam Fox when he creates all his restaurants. He wants to make sure the guests not only will have a great meal, a great food, and the ambiance. So you can go in, you feel comfortable. Like our guest walks in and said, man, I love it here. I don't know why, but I love it here. So that is, the end of the go and the hospitality. So yeah.
I first went to one of your group restaurants over in Scottsdale. I mean, very chic, Olive and Ivy, is that correct?
Yes, right at the river.
Yes, and it was a hot spot. That was,
I
don't know, it was almost 10 years ago now.
Still there?
You guys have been,
And right on the water, on the river, beautiful patio. Everyone wants to be in that patio. I mean, and kudos to Sam Fox. That's what he's famous for, creating great hospitality destinations and culinary destinations as well. So
it's so warm, it's so welcoming. There's an absolute charm about this place, and it's in an iconic location.
True.
It was formerly this room, which was in LA for years, right here on Robertson across the street from the Ivy.
That's true.
And there's a little homage in the Henry to the newsroom. Tell us about it.
Yes, the homage was when we took over the building in West Hollywood, we saw the newsroom left the magazines behind. So we decided to, because we do have a library next to the TVs, and we decided to do an homage from the newsroom. Just keep the magazines displayed, and our old customers, old guests from the newsroom, they're coming in like, oh my gosh, I'm having a little bit of flashback. Is that the magazines from the newsroom? That's right. So we kept it because it was an iconic place here in West Hollywood, and we want to make keep that connection, a neighborhood restaurant with the past and with the new Henry coming in. Not forgetting what
So we want to say the real reason why we had you on, because we really want to get
You
Focus
hungry?
TV on.
That's how obsessed we are,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
This is a whole ploy.
Yes, you guys definitely took over the restaurant. You guys are there all the time.
In the
And
best
we love
way,
it.
I hope.
Oh, absolutely. This is what the greatest neighborhood restaurant's all about. So that's what we want. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for always welcoming us, for being
Absolutely.
such an amazing part of our community.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have a little gluten-free Pop-Tart
Right.
now.
Awesome.
And so just
Yeah.
again,
Right.
people can come at what time for breakfast and like
7 a.m.
Huh?
I mean, the doors, 6:30, we already have baristas and we can come in for coffee and pastries. Breakfast opens at 7 a.m. until 11 o'clock. And then we start lunch until 3. Dinner, between 3 and 4, there is a limited menu, salads and appetizers. And then dinner starts at 4 until 10 or 11 on the weekends. And our famous brunch on Saturday and Sunday, that it's big hit.
Okay,
So it
good.
starts at 9 a.m. until 3.
So if you
Okay,
ever
great.
wonder where we are after Good Morning La La Land, we have
Yeah.
the Henry having a gluten-free Pop-Tart and some of the best coffee
Yep.
in town.
Thank you so much. We
My
love-
pleasure.
we
Thank
are
you.
now
Thank
officially
you.
a
Great to
Gooder
have you.
family, and you're
Thank
part
you.
of our family now. As
Well, I have a little gift, a
little
little gift for
gift.
you. This is
you know
our
it.
trademark.
Can't get enough.
Yes, this is our tie clip
Swag.
that
Oh,
we
wow.
make in house.
Super cool.
And
Also works as a little lapel clip
yeah,
there, I see.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, that's so
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
There we go.
It's funny because we were there, Erin and I, with another member of the Focus TV family, and I was like, wow, that's a super cool
Yeah.
tie pin. And I thought, and he said, oh, it's a spoon.
It's our espresso spoon.
Yes.
And we make in house for every
So
so
great.
cool.
Yeah.
I
Love
love
this.
that.
Thank you so
You're
much.
officially part of the Henry
You are.
family now.
Okay,
That's
great.
awesome.
It's official. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to announce
That Good Morning La La Land is now being featured on Connect TV.
That's right, you can check it out on Apple TV, Roku, iOS, and Android, as well as on the web.
Check us out. We're going to be everywhere, literally.
We are going to believe, connect, and change the world. It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land. I'm Jessa Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land with my associate producer,
Victoria Simone.
and we are coming to you live from Bel Air, absolutely La La Land.
Yes, speaking of La La Land, who was on Good Morning La La Land?
This week was incredible. We got motivated by Natalie Ellis.
Yes, the OG boss babe.
And we perfected our tribe with Lori Harder. She's got a great new book.
Called A Tribe Called Bliss,
We talked to a great lifestyle dating coach, Miss Therese Germain.
founder of The Compass.
We also had on Stephen Barber. He
Yes.
is the founder of Vanilla Sky Productions.
Yes, and former military man.
We also featured Miss Sally Cologne.
Yes, she's a female director, producer, and documentarian, and a member of the Focus TV family.
We also had an incredible psychic reading with a world-renowned intuitive psychic, Rebecca Fearing.
Yes.
And we chose love with Seb Devo.
We also learned to let it go with our girl Shafali in the house. Let's look at a clip of her singing.
Emoji.
You were my sky, I was your prize. Was she worth the ride? Yeah. All this time, thought you were mine, mine. Yeah. I've been telling myself what I already know. Yeah. Already know. Yeah. Something about you got me so twisted. We could have ruled the world, baby, admit it. 'Cause baby, you know I'm yours. Baby, you know I'm yours. It's hard to let you go, yeah.
What? Love that song.
That girl can sing.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in to This Week in La La Land.
It's gonna be a good morning, La La Land.
I mean, clearly. Bye, guys.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We have got a friend of mine and also a castmate from Famously Single on E! And he's got a new TV project he's going to share with us. He's one of also the 10 sexiest men in the world.
Oh, you know, guys, thank
Yes.
you very much indeed. It's a
And
pleasure
he's
to
a
be here.
Royal Marine Commando
That's
and
right.
on Gladiators.
David McIntosh. What's up, my man?
How's it going, guys? It's a pleasure to be here. How are you? Such beautiful people.
Feelings mutual, my friend.
Yes, well, you know.
Absolutely.
You have this high energy. You came in this morning, you were like, bam, 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 and like you have all this energy and love. And
always
like
like that.
You've got to live on full, die on empty. That's my motto. You've got to always have that energy.
Live on full, die on empty.
Yeah.
I love that.
I ain't taking nothing to the grave, guys. Nothing to the grave whatsoever.
Drive fast,
You know?
take chances.
Yeah.
I love that. So I want to ask, Royal Marines Commando, that's like the most intense training you can do, right?
Yes, it is. It's actually known to be the most intense training and longest in the world. 32 weeks. I was in there for 7 years. I just joined when I was
7
16.
years.
Yeah, joined when I was 16. I think that was the basis that created my mentality to never quit, never stop. That pushed me to like where I am now. I was just Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia. So I really pushed my life to the edge.
So what's that like when you move past those walls where you can just like, you command universal energy and you just like, bam, I'm gonna do this?
Fantastic question, and that's the reason when people say to me, I have so much energy now, why am I always happy? Because you know what, I've put my life through chaos. I believe you have to put yourself through such hardship, such chaos, so when you're on easy street, when you sat down like this, I'm having such a ball, I am such a laugh. Because I live most of my life when I'm training or when I've been in the Marines, it's been hell, I've been through hell and back. So when I'm in Civvy Street, this is a piece of cake, man.
Absolutely.
I'm loving life every single when I wake up, I'm loving life, I love life.
Absolutely, and you can really use that experience in your motivation videos, in your
100%.
fitness videos. Tell us a little bit about that program.
So that's it. Basically, I'm out here at the moment, and people always say to me, you're a fitness trainer. So, well, no, to be honest, I would say I'm a farmer. I like to sow seeds into people so they can flourish themselves.
Look at you right now.
No, that's it. I don't want to have someone with me train them through a year. No, I like to get in there, allow them to be able to create power themselves. There's no, like you said, the old fable of give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever. So that's kind of my philosophy in fitness. I allow them to empower themselves, teach them the raw, basic human instincts and senses, how to create that power and create that energy.
Wow.
So it can be just like me, and just like
coach.
Rob, and just like you guys.
You are contagious.
Let's go, 50%.
You're taking the children that are children of alcoholics to on a big trek. Tell us
Well,
about
the thing is, I don't think they'll make the trip. So instead of those, me and Callum Best, another cast member, film singer, very good-looking guy, his father, Callum Best, was known to suffer from alcoholism. So it's a project that's close to his heart. And because I also worked with children from disenfranchised areas, it's a unity that we came together and thought, you know what, let's go up Mount Blanc and raise some money for the charity, NACOA, children whose parents are afflicted by alcoholism. So it's a great movement and we're looking forward to do it. And like we said, we're getting out there to inspire. You can't sit on your couch, sit on the internet and do it from a keyboard. We've got to go out there, make a statement. It's going to be tough, but I'm ex-Royal Marines Commando.
How can people get involved in that? Can people donate to
They can donate. They can go to King_85. Don't slide in my DMs with news. I've got so many already. But guys, if you want to donate, anything is fantastic. $1, $2, whatever you want to give. It's all going to a good cause. So if you can, that'd be so good. That'd be fantastic.
So
absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I always feel like all adults need to go through like a training like this.
100%.
Because when you go in, you get stripped down of everything and you go through those walls and people complain over the stupidest stuff ever.
Because it's not recalibrated the body. You've got to recalibrate the mind, put yourself in such a state of animosity that you can rebirth. And you're like a phoenix rise.
Let's do this,
like a
you
phoenix.
guys. Let's go!
This is one of the things I love
the
most
challenge.
about David. One of the things I love most about him is that, of course, he just looks like a rock, right? So you're such a strong guy, really strong guy. But he's also really deeply compassionate and really sensitive. But he can, through his energy, convince you to do like almost anything. Because he gets so excited.
Cocktails!
You're like, it's fine, yeah, let's do it. David said so, let's do it, yeah.
And top 10 sexiest men in America?
Yeah, well, that was John. I was a little bit tighter, my eyes a little bit brighter, but yeah, no. Double page spread. Denzel Washington on one page, LL Cool J one page, my double page. Double page. Pick that one up.
So I want to know a little bit about your most recent projects, though. I know that you're up to something called Bromance.
Yes, that's it. So the last one I've just done was actually such a fun show. When I say fun, I was dressed as an old ancient gladiator, leather on. I believe I should have been born at a different age because this was fantastic. The leather touching the skin, the metal straps. So I'm getting too deep now. Anyway, so a group of contestants come on. It's on ITV2 in the UK. I'm currently on Gold Channel in Australia. But it's basically, I'm beating recruits down. I'm going too deep there. Beating recruits down and basically build them back up. Basically what I'm talking about now, but back in the old Roman like Colosseum. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. It's sick, beautiful. It's set in Bulgaria. So rather than going as a personal trainer in this day and age, they send me back into time and we're going to go through it all. And there's love interests involved. So it's a bit of reality there, but it's all real. Oh, it's naughty. It's really naughty. Yeah. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Just look. Forget what I said. Just watch.
Just watch it. Go to King David.
King_David 85.
That's
there
right.
Well,
have a wonderful time in
so
your exhibition.
Man, it's a
we
pleasure
can't
to
wait
be
to
here.
have you back and hear all about your trip.
Of course.
We don't see you at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll be preaching on the mountaintop.
I'll see you at the bottom, brother. We'll wait for you. Come on back down. Eat my pastries.
Wow, absolutely.
We're gonna take a little break. When we come back, we're gonna get into some more expert masters in their field. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited because one of my favorite beauty gurus and experts is in the house, Miss Jen Yen. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful.
Thank
I love that
you.
color.
Good morning. Such a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you.
First of all, I wake up every day with Pure Lease. I am so grateful for the generous gift you've given me and what you've created because you have saved my skin.
Oh my God. Thank you. No, it's I'm so happy to hear that because I poured my heart and soul into this. So when beautiful women like you tell me that, it just continues to inspire and motivate me.
Absolutely. For those of you watching, I'm actually wearing the BB cream in medium right now. I
Me
wear it
too.
every day. And that's what's so beautiful about it because it really blends with so many different skin tones. It's amazing. I just love it.
And I love that it has the SPF in it. But tell us a little bit about your personal journey.
Yes, so I always like to start out by saying I used to fight Power Rangers on TV, and now my career is saving complexions with Pure Lease, which is my cosmetics and skincare line, inspired by my grandmother's Asian beauty secrets. So I spent 15 hours a day under heavy makeup and bright lights, and this absolutely destroyed my skin, took a toll on my confidence. I tried everything, went to dermatologist after dermatologist, and nothing worked, and that's when I rediscovered my grandmother's Asian beauty secrets and created Pure Lease, which is also safe for sensitive skin.
Mm-hmm.
So what are those Asian secrets?
Yeah, tell us.
We want to know.
Tell us. Well, our line consists of blue lotus, a lot of tea extracts like white tea, green tea. Now we're using coconut oil in our coconut oil coffee body scrub. We use ginger ingredients, and a lot of it is more about the lifestyle, the ritual too, about really taking care of your skin and setting time aside for that is part of the Asian technique, Asian beauty secrets.
You have this one, sorry, you have this one mask that it has like licorice in it, and I use it, it's amazing.
Oh yes, it's our charcoal and licorice pore refining sheet mask.
Oh wow.
That's a really good one.
Just sounds
Thank
delicious.
you.
I love that though because it really makes self-care fun and it makes it a priority for me. I love doing these sheet masks. They are so wonderful. Every Sunday, I call it Self-Care Sunday.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. And I alternate between a sheet mask, I do the pore detox clay mask, and it's really just nice to know that I can take time for myself.
Yes,
the
we all
ingredients
should.
are good, and then there's like a heritage in that. You know, I feel like I'm honoring the wisdom that your family gave you when I do that for myself.
So where can we find the product?
So right now we're mainly online on purelease.com or Ipsy.com, Birchbox, and Amazon. We're going to slowly start expanding into stores.
It's so exciting. We really have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all the products.
Thank you.
All of us have been using them.
It's such a pleasure.
Oh, I'm addicted to the scrub. I didn't know how good a shave you can get when you have a great, like a proper scrub. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. And you look gorgeous. That color is definitely your color.
Thank you.
What's been the most rewarding part of this journey for you?
You know, the most rewarding part of this journey is personally to be independent, but more importantly, to actually help women feel confident by giving them great products that can, because I know what it felt like when I suffered from really bad skin, and it was just hard. And so when I get emails or reviews or comments saying, you know, this product really changed my skin, or it really helped heal my skin, that is the most gratifying and the most satisfying part of my job.
So what's next for you?
We're expanding our product range, and we're actually launching another brand this fall, which is going to be more in a complexion range, but still the same awesome Asian-inspired ingredients with superfoods. But we're gonna go deeper into color correction.
That's
in coverage.
Yes.
Well, you know, you guys will be the first.
Yeah. I'm all fine with that anyway, except for I need some foundation. Like I'll go anywhere with just a little bit of foundation for sure.
Well, that's all
Color
you
correction is
need.
so
I
important.
mean, also I think, you know, looking at you guys obviously are living a really healthy, well-rounded life, because, you know, no beauty product.
Pastries and all. It's fun balanced life.
Well, you know, no beauty product will fix an unhealthy lifestyle or a really bad diet. So clearly, you guys.
So true.
Keep looking for that, though.
Yes.
No, it's so true. Yeah, it's so true.
And tell people where they can find and follow you.
So we are at Pure Lease on all platforms, and then I'm at JenYen1, just JenYen1.
I love that. And knowing that Mother Earth has, you know, obviously the abundance is always there. That there are, if we align with Mother Earth, we align with truth, then our beauty is already there. It's just waiting to be revealed. And so thank you for aligning us back with Mother Earth with these truths that are, you know, eternal. And so thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll take a little break. When we come back, we will dive deeper with some more masters in the house.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, associate producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network, but you already knew that. And today, I am in the beautiful Los Angeles with my girl,
Jez Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, coming to you from Bel Air. Absolutely La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV Network, we had Reshape with Ali Landry, and on that show was Gail Becker.
She is the creator of Cully Power Pizza. It's gluten-free, guilt-free, and absolutely delicious.
We had Soul Reboot with our amazing host, Allison Charles.
And a special guest, Sahara Rose.
We had What's Good, hosted by Amy Paffrath and Jocelyn Walter, and on that show was
Heartbroken Anonymous.
Naz Perez. We had hashtag Harry and Kelly with our amazing hosts Harry Howard and Kelly Russo. And on that show,
Focus TV family member, Ms. Laura Odegaard, host of Millennial Life.
We love you. Ms. Jeslyn Moye, who was on Good Morning La La Land.
We were absolutely motivated by Natalie Ellis. She is the creator of The Boss Babe. Yes, she is the OG Boss Babe.
Yes.
We also had Lori Harder, as well as Therese Germain, who's created a new dating and life counseling service called The Compass, really giving us a new direction.
We had Focus TV family, Sally Colon.
She is a filmmaker extraordinaire, female director, producer, and documentarian.
Yes.
And also,
another Focus TV family member, Tanya Memi.
Absolutely living it. And we are so excited to announce the latest issue of the Focus magazine. Gracing the cover is Miss Kelly Gore. She is the filmmaker behind Heal. In these pages, you'll find a great article, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, about Sally Colon. Also on the cover, Mr. Mark Teschner, 9-time Emmy Award-winning producer, as well as Ms. Ellen Rakuten. She served as one of the executive producers on Oprah Winfrey's show for 23 years and has won an enormous 13 Emmys for her creative work.
Thanks so much for tuning in to This Week in Focus. Have a great day, guys. I'm Victoria Simone.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is my absolute honor to welcome Marcus Klinko to the show. He is a world-renowned fashion photographer. I am so excited for you to be here with us.
Well, I'm excited to be here. This is so fun.
Right? I mean, you've shot Beyonce, Lady Gaga, David Bowie, Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears, Mary J.
Everybody.
Blige. What?
Basically,
I did
on and on
5
and on.
album covers for Mary J. Blige.
5.
Yeah, starting with The Breakthrough back in 2005. It was an incredible meeting. I got a message that she wanted to meet. I met her at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She pulled up in a yellow Ferrari. It was like right out of a music video. You know, she told me the story of the album, and you know, it was an amazing moment. And a couple, you know, 1 week later, we shot it. It became the biggest selling album of her career. It was huge all over Sunset. It bought ginormous billboards, and it was, you know, one of those big moments. I had a few of those big moments, but you know, she is definitely one of the pop culture milestones that I'm really proud of, and that I am showing next week.
Yes.
At Moosh Gallery.
At the Moosh Gallery, the exhibit is opening. It's one of the most anticipated exhibitions in Beverly Hills. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'm extremely excited about this exhibition because since 2016, my exhibition called David Bowie Unseen has been touring the world. It opened first at Art Basel in Miami, and then went to Switzerland, to LA. It opened in LA, Paris, Tokyo, Sydney. It keeps going. It's reopening at Art Basel, Switzerland also next week again. So my new show, 2000s, is a little bit of a different, you know, different focus because it's not just David Bowie. He's also in that show, 2000s, because I shot his 2001 album called Hidden, and also his GQ cover, very famous GQ cover with the Wolves, 2002 Man of the Year. The show includes, as you said, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez.
But we want to know, like, these are celebrities that do not open up their lives to anybody. Like, you are capturing, you know, photography is a huge art and skill, but it's also like they have to feel comfortable enough to really open themselves. How do you do that? How do you get to that, you know, relationship?
They got someone else to come in, and you know, Michelle, and so at some point during the shoot, I said to the mom, "This one, she's going to be huge. She has a lot of charisma." And she said, "Oh yeah, I know." And you know, obviously that was Beyonce. And then 2 years later, when she had her soul album, Sony Music called me. Beyonce wanted to shoot the cover with me, and you know, there's your you know, sort of. That's the beginning of magic because she had already felt comfortable.
So you know, so when you're shooting, because you don't know how big someone's going to get. Sometimes you're shooting them before they're
so many times.
So you just know there's something. It's like that it factor.
Kanye, Pharrell, all of these guys. You know, I shot some of their.
Has that
yes, and you know, at this point, of course, I'm fortunate because if someone doesn't know what I do, or what we do, I should say, because now I work with my wonderful photo partner, Qual, and we're a duo now, but you know, before I shot everything on my own, so until about 3 years ago, I shot everything myself, but now we're a team, which also helps with the chemistry and the magic, because sometimes, she's a very young Chinese American, very cool girl, you know, so she will connect to some people better than me. I will connect to others. So we work that magic. We both shoot at the same time, but not at that time. At the time I shot everything. So
Is that what makes for the best pictures? Is it the chemistry that you have?
100%.
Yeah, it's the chemistry.
If there's no chemistry, it's just an exercise, you know. The light, the camera, the angle. I mean, cameras are important, and I'm very passionate. I'm a nerd. You know, I work very closely with Fujifilm, who are actually sponsoring this exhibition. I help them develop cameras. I, test prototypes. I write articles about equipment and cameras, and I'm with my vinyl gloves on my knees and screwdrivers. I used to have huge teams of assistants. I still have them, but now I ask them, can you get coffee? Can you help the makeup artists with their bags? And I like to do the lighting myself. I've become much more hands-on. There's a shift in the industry, so, but the magic, let's say we're doing a photo shoot with you, which you're going to do, right?
Oh, absolutely,
you promise.
I promise.
So, we'll shoot you for a cover or a cosmetic campaign or something like that. So, see, we already know each other. We're already talking about it, and that's how it works, It's not a chance when we work with celebrities, music stars, Hollywood stars, or models. It's always based on something, We work a lot with mood boards, references, I love referencing the 70s, for instance. I love the work of Helmut Newton,
Oh, yeah. What a good 70s pick.
Okay, I will tell you a secret. I've been talking about the 2000s so much because my show is called 2000s. So people say, oh, the 2000s and this and that and the bling and everything. And I need to remind people that when it was the 2000s, let's say, 2003, and all we did was referencing the 70s at that time. So now people thinking of the 2000s, but this whole bling, disco ball, all of that stuff, that's a 70s reference. I was 15, I was in Paris busy studying the harp, classical harp.
Really?
Yeah, I was a classical concert harpist. I was signed to EMI. I released a few records on EMI classics. The last one was the Paris Opera Orchestra. So I had a shift from being, in front of the camera as a musician on stage to becoming a photographer. But
what was the catalyst for that shift?
An accident.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh my
so
gosh.
when you mention, I had a weird thing with my thumb, and I couldn't play anymore. I had to cancel 4 years of tours that were all booked. I was with Columbia Arts, and it was for 3 weeks I panicked, but because I had been the subject myself of photography, I've never done photography. That's 25 years ago, I look so young, but I'm not.
You
Just
do.
kidding. Just having fun. But
it's so amazing.
25 years ago, it was the summer of 1994. I was in this situation. I went to see doctors, and I had this epiphany. I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I realized my childhood dream. I was very young. I wanted to be a famous classical musician, have records, play these big concerts, and I did it. At that point, I had done that, not for 50 years, but for a few years. I had a really good run. And I decided I'm going to become a photographer. And I locked myself into my loft with a mannequin, and I practiced 10 hours a day. I was used to that with a camera. A famous lab in New York, they thought, this guy's insane. Every day I brought in tests, film tests, clips at the time, everyone's shooting on film, of a mannequin. And they were like, this guy has a fetish or something. And I was like asking for advice. Should I pull the film a little? Should I do it? And they were like, okay, whatever, And a month later, I got an agent in Paris, and things took off. I was helped. People at Vogue, people at GQ, they knew me as a musician, and they were like, okay, let's give this guy a break, And so things started taking off. But it really started taking off in 2001. When Iman and David Bowie basically sort of gave me their first opportunities. And that's some of these images are in the show. And that's also when I started working with Fujifilm. And so what you see next week, to the public, it opens on the 15th at Mush. What you see there is so many years of so much intense work, And I should mention, we have the CFDA, the organization that's behind New York Fashion Week. All the fashion designers in America are part of the CFDA. They're partnering for this exhibit, and of course, the gallery is handling all of the art sales and stuff, but there's also a big online auction for the
Becky
CFDA.
G will be hosting.
Yes, so let's talk about, can we talk about Becky?
Yes.
Because
We're
she's
running out of
incredible.
time, unfortunately, but we want to find out more about where they can find you, where they can go to this event.
Moosh Gallery. It's on North Beverly Drive, very close to here. And you know, we shot Becky G. She's the host. She is this incredible hot new pop star, and people will discover those photos. It's also going to be on Galore Magazine. Galore Magazine is our media partner. So we shot the cover. It's coming out on Tuesday with Becky G. So tune in and.
So exciting! Oh,
my
gosh!
We look forward to celebrating with you. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time, your talent.
It was so fun, and we have to arrange our photo shoot.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we'll debut that.
Good Morning LaLa.
We're interested.
Yeah, you should do one for Good Morning LaLa.
There you go. We put the three of you on the cover.
The next cover of Focus Magazine.
Of course.
Oh, thank you so much, Marcus. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning LaLaLand. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. We are live with the incredible musician and dancer Millie Moto. Welcome to the show, gorgeous.
Thank you for having me.
Your outfit is adorable.
Thank you, thank you.
It's so beautiful. You're so chic.
Oh my gosh, totally. So excited because I want to hear about your journey, like from the beginning.
Oh gosh.
So talk to us a little bit about that. I know there's a lot.
Yes. Well, I first started off just in the entertainment industry in general as a dancer, and as a kid I was like doing halftime performances for the Lakers and the Oakland Raiders and all these different, you know, professional teams. And eventually that led to me like doing music videos when I got older. I was just like a dance, that was like my thing. Like everybody knew that she was like the dancer girl. In high school, she was the best dancer. But then somewhere along the way.
These are big videos, though.
Yeah,
It's Chris Brown.
And I really don't even like to talk about that time in my life because I'm just like, I'm far past it. Because it's like a stigma of being like a video model. You know what I mean? And I didn't really see myself as that, which is why eventually I transitioned to acting. Because that just wasn't for me. I wasn't the curvaceous girl with the, you know, and that's like really popular right now on Instagram, is to be like the girl with the big booty and the, you know, the whole package. And
you are the whole package.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Can have some booty in the house.
Yeah, you know, you know, honestly, like I rep for the skinny girls because it's like I wish I could do that. Honestly, like they need to give me some of that. Yes, I try.
So, tell us about what you're working on now.
So right now I just released a single. It's called Mood, and after being in like a bunch of different girl groups and, you know, things going left and sometimes right, but, you know, it was just a journey through that as well. But I finally, you know, have found my solo voice, and I've dropped 2 singles. The first one was called Come Get 'Em, and my second single is called Mood, and it's out now on all platforms.
So what's the mood?
Ooh, the mood is like, you know, I'm from LA, born and raised, specifically in Inglewood, California, and I have like the classic story of like eventually when I turned 12, we ended up moving to the suburbs. So I had like this total different culture shock going on. And also in the mix of that being a racial person. My dad was Japanese and my mom is Black and Native American. So I already just came from like this super diverse background. So I think that's my mood is, I represent for like everyone and all cultures and everything.
That's interesting because I do believe that right now, obviously, it's a time in history where women are rising.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that women, we tend to segregate ourselves.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
So
I
I'm
hate
all
it.
about the mood, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
no, seriously, because I hate that even this racial divide is going on in the country right now because it seems so ironic that the more we try and say come together, we're like pulling each other apart.
So what can we do? How do we do this differently?
I think it has more to do with awareness and being aware that, we all are mixed up. You know what I mean? Whether you know it or not. And let's do our ancestry kits and let's find out. You know what I mean? Because, and I haven't even done mine, so I could be things that I don't even know I am. But if we have empathy for each other on that type of level, then we can calm all of this down. Quiet the storm. Yeah, that's my mood, guys. Seriously.
My dad always jokes because when I was little, I'd be like, I felt like so different from everybody. He said, sweetheart, don't worry, we're all becoming the golden race.
Man.
We're all, and I always love that idea that we're, and I think you sort of epitomize that so well, not only in sort of, physically and even genetically, but also I think in your cognitive and even in your artistic ability.
Right.
It's the flexibility and the inclusiveness.
Right.
And so
I don't feel limited, and I'm so tired of people putting me in a box. Coming up in like girl groups and things, they always, they looked at me and they're like, oh, you're the next Aaliyah, or you're, an R&B singer, and it's like, why? Because of the way I look, or you know what I mean? I'm Millie, and there's more to my name than just what it is. It's like I'm a million things, you know what I mean? All wrapped into one. Like I'm multi, and I want people to embrace that and feel so limited and have to choose. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I can be good at more than one thing.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I have a show in the works. I'm also a parent, so I have a parental kind of like show called The Wind Down coming out pretty soon. Cool. So if everybody stays tuned to my IG and stuff, I'll be releasing a date pretty soon. I
love it. So exciting.
We're listening to Millie right now. So let's dance it out. People where they can find you.
They can find me on Instagram, instagram.com/MillieMostWanted.
Woo! And that's it. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning, LaLaLand.
Thank you.
So awesome.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, associate producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network, but you already knew that. And today, I am in the beautiful Los Angeles with my girl,
Jasmine Moye, co-host of Good Morning LaLaLand, coming to you from Bel Air. Absolutely LaLaLand.
So last week on the Focus TV Network, we had Reshape with Ali Landry, and on that show was Gail Becker.
She is the creator of Cully Power Pizza. It's gluten-free, guilt-free, and absolutely delicious.
We had Soul Reboot with our amazing host, Allison Charles.
And a special guest, Sahara Rose.
We had What's Good, hosted by Amy Paffrath and Jocelyn Walter, and on that show was
Heartbroken Anonymous,
Naz Perez. We had hashtag Harry and Kelly with our amazing hosts Harry Howard and Kelly Russo. And on that show,
Focus TV family member, Ms. Laura Odegaard, host of Millennial Life.
We love you. Ms. Jeslyn Moye, who was on Good Morning LaLaLand.
We were absolutely motivated by Natalie Ellis. She is the creator of The Boss Babe. Yes, she is the OG Boss Babe.
Yes.
We also had Lori Harder, as well as Therese Germain, who's created a new dating and life counseling service called The Compass, really giving us a new direction.
We had Focus TV family, Sally Colon.
She is a filmmaker extraordinaire, female director, producer, and documentarian.
Yes.
And also,
another Focus TV family member, Tanya Memi.
Absolutely living it. And we are so excited to announce the latest issue of the Focus magazine. Gracing the cover is Miss Kelly Gore. She is the filmmaker behind Heal. In these pages, you'll find a great article, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, about Sally Colon. Also on the cover, Mr. Mark Teschner, 9-time Emmy Award-winning producer, as well as Ms. Ellen Racketon. She served as one of the executive producers on Oprah Winfrey's show for 23 years and has won an enormous 13 Emmys for her creative work.
Thanks so much for tuning into This Week in Focus. Have a great day, guys. I'm Victoria Simone.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Welcome back to Good Morning La Land. We're talking about Thought Thursday. We have some masters in the house, and today we are so honored to have Roy Sekoff in the house. He is the founding editor of the Huffington Post.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Yes.
Just that little thing.
Little thing. Started with 4 of us. Ended up when I left 800 people in 17 countries.
Wow.
Not a bad little.
You created an empire.
Okay, I'll take it.
You should
it's
take
the Napoleonic part of my personality. Onward, yes.
Wow, tell us, what was that journey like for you?
Well, it was incredible. You know, it's one of those things that we didn't see necessarily coming. I think we did a lot of things right, and I think we were really lucky, you know, and I think that's one of the things that you have to have. You have to make the right decisions while they come along, but you also have to be lucky, and the timing was right for what we were trying to do.
Right.
What did you do right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
We want to know.
You know, it's a moment by moment thing, right? Every day, you get up every day and you have to just make these decisions. I remember, you know, after we were bought by AOL, I then created HuffPost Live. And I know this is a live streaming thing, but we had our live streaming network in 2012, which we launched, HuffPost Live. And one day we were walking home. It was a long process to build this thing. And we were walking home at 1 o'clock in the morning. I say home. I live in LA, but I was in a hotel most of the time in New York. I was walking home. I was walking to my hotel, which came to be called home. I would come home and they'd say, "Welcome home." But we were walking home and I was like so exhausted, and I said, "Man, we probably made 100 decisions today." You know. And then we took 2 more steps, and we looked at each other and went, and we got to make 100 decisions today, right? So it's the 100 decisions. I can't say one, you know, visionary thing, but each step of the way, you know, you look and you just kind of assess. And I came to believe that you trust your gut. You know, I know that sounds kind of like maybe an obvious thing, but you know, I've done many things over my life, failed at many of them, succeeded at a few. And one of the things I learned was through all the different things. I was a screenwriter for a while. I worked at the company that became E. You know, we founded HuffPost, a lot of things. I've written a book now. It's all kind of the same process. You trust your gut, and you go with the way your gut says it, whether you're in an edit room saying make the cut there, or you're looking at using your blue pencil on the thing, or you're at your typewriter. And if you're right more often than you're wrong, you'll be successful. If you're wrong more often than you're right, not so much.
But I think that, but Huffington Post, I mean, in my opinion,
yes.
Obviously, you guys, I'm sure, marketing and collaborating and all that. But what really Huffington Post means to me is you guys have in the most incredible content that is usable and consumable, and people can implement in their life, and it actually makes a huge positive impact on people. So
I think the biggest thing we did that was different was we allowed, and not just allowed, pursued having a very specific voice in our coverage of the news. So for instance, you know, there's a lot of commodity news. I mean, if you take the stories on AP and CNN and all of these platforms, and you take away all the branding and all the coloring, and you just look at the headlines, you wouldn't know what you were reading. But my contention back when we launched it, at least was back in 2005, was if you looked at a HuffPost story, took away all the branding, took away all that stuff, and just read a headline, you'd go, that's HuffPost.
And how would you describe that?
We were incredibly serious about what we did, but we never took ourselves seriously. And so we were not afraid to have fun. We were not afraid to have attitude. We were not afraid to push it, you know. And so I think that was one of the things that separated us. And the idea, you know, we were at a moment before the Twitters and before Facebook really exploded and before YouTube really exploded. And so I think that blogging at that point was this very new thing. Right. And to be a blogger, as you know if you've done it, you have to produce a lot of content. And there's a lot of famous, successful people who didn't have time to be writing 2 or 3 posts a day. Well, when HuffPost allowed it, because we had so many different voices, we never said, you have to post a certain number. It was whenever you want, right? Nice. And so it allowed somebody like Larry David, or Nora Ephron, or these great people who had all these amazing things to say, but really didn't have a presence online at the time, to be able to just drop in now and then.
So brilliant.
And then it was the hive, the hive that created this collective voice.
So what was that like when you realized, okay, I've created this thing that it literally is impacting millions and millions of people?
Well, you know, it was not an immediate process, right? And so, but it felt like everything flipped. And I can't look at the exact day, but it was probably around 2008. We launched in 2005. You know, the Obama run was a big part of our growth. We were growing very steadily. And I tell the story that it seemed like it happened in a day where I was on a plane flying from LA to New York, and people said, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm the editor of the Huffington Post." And they said, "What's that?" I said, "Well, do you know Arianna Huffington?" And they went, "I think so. And I think I've seen her on Bill Maher's." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then on the flight back, I was sitting next to somebody and they said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm the editor of the Huffington Post." The Huffington Post! Oh my God, I'm on there 10 times a day. That's the greatest. And I was like,
overnight sensation.
Something's happening here, you know? Right. And so that was kind of the sense that we were onto something, and then we kind of just rode the wave.
And you've ridden the wave all the way to writing your own book.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Let's do that.
Lack self-control. What are some of these stories?
Well, you know, these are all true stories from what happened was when I left HuffPost, I took a year to kind of catch my breath because the 24/7 news cycle, kind of nutty. And so I took a year just kind of hang out and took hikes and walked on the beach and worked out and things like that. And then I decided to get back to the typewriter, the computer, and to do something creative. And I thought, you know what? There's stories that I tell that always work at dinner or over drinks at night. You know, the funny stuff that you've been, you know, the stories that you would tell when you meet somebody. So I said, why don't I start with those and sort of see what my voice is outside of HuffPost? Because I'd spent 12 years that being my voice, you know, building that brand. So I sat down and stood up, because I have a stand-up desk now, and I started writing these stories. And they just started pouring out of me. And it was an explosion of creativity, a tsunami, if you will. A tsunami. And so these are fun stories from when I was a kid, from when I was reaching that age of puberty, and my mind going, oh, and then and some funny stories. The time, let's see, there's the time that I stole some tissues that contained Oprah Winfrey's tears. Yeah, Oprah's tears. Then there was the time at a funeral where Chevy Chase grabbed my balls.
Wow.
Now, that's a story you want to hear now, right?
Yes.
There's a tease. And so it's things like that. It's also a lot about my relationship with my parents, my dad particularly. And it's just, if I may, I think it's a really hysterical book.
Absolutely.
I think so too. Arianna Huffington said it was frank, fearless, and very funny.
Yes, and more importantly, not more importantly than Arianna, but I've read worse than Larry David.
That's a pretty high compliment from me.
High praise indeed. High praise indeed from Larry David.
Are you going to do this in audiobook?
I've just recorded my audiobook version.
I want to hear you tell the
Yes,
story.
he's got the energy behind it.
Yeah, so I was in the studio and I recorded the audiobook, and that was quite an adventure. You know, done some voiceover stuff. I had a show called the HuffPost Show, did my voiceovers for that show. But when you're doing a whole book,
it's a whole different.
And you know, I started getting mad at myself, the writer, because some of the things that I'd written, which are easy to read when you're reading them, not as easy to say. And so I was like, dude, who told you to put those 4 words together? You can't say those 4 words in a row very easily.
Right.
And that name, you know, in the Oprah story, I'm never going to get it right now. Iyanla Vanzant, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
What is her name?
That's it. I don't know how to say it properly.
Dude,
I'm not going to try.
I had to re-record that 7 times.
Yeah, it's really hard.
And I was just kind of like, just tell me, put it in my ear, and let me just say it, and let me move on. I could not say the sentence. I couldn't even say it now. So I started hating myself.
Wow. So for the people out there that are watching, that are like, oh my gosh, you know, here's this man that is obviously the top of his game. Incredible, I mean, you've been an incredible impact on the entire world. What advice would you give for somebody out there that just has a passion, whatever that is, for them to follow?
That answer right there is what so I have 2 kids. I have a son who's 22, I have a daughter who's 18, and the only thing that I wanted for them was to be passionate about something, anything. I didn't care what. If it was baseball, great. If it was science, great. If it was music, great. if you have it's the oldest cliche. Sometimes cliches are cliches
For a reason.
For a reason, right? So the great cliche is if you follow your passion and are able to make your passion your work, you'll actually never work a day in your life, right? And that's the thing. If you are fired up about what you're doing, if you're in love with what you're doing, what greater blessing could there be in the life? So my point would always be, success shouldn't be defined by the way the culture defines it, things, possessions. Success is being able to do what you love, and be able to. You got to pay the rent.
But do you feel the same way about relationships? Because sometimes passionate relationships are a little dysfunctional, right? So
I do not. I'm glad that you asked that. I have found that when it comes to relationships, passion is good for, let's say,
90 days. Just saying.
You look at it in days. I was going to say 3 months. It's exactly the same. Yeah. Right around that time, you go, this is good, but now what? And so I'm happily to say that I just celebrated my 25th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
To the most fantastic woman on the planet. No offense, just my brother. But what did people say? So what's the secret? You guys are still so happy together. We started a conversation the night we met. It was just an accidental meeting at a party, and we talking for 3 hours, and that conversation has gone on for 25 years, and we've never not had something to say to each other. So having that connection, having that friendship, having that people always say, well, is the relationship 50-50? That's not going to work. Because some days you're only going to bring 30. Right. So if it's 50-50 and you're bringing 30, there's a gap there that's problematic, right? So it's got to be 100-100. You've got to be willing to put everything on to helping that person and being there for that person, so that on the day when Bruce Springsteen has this great song, if I should fall behind, right? If I should fall behind, wait for me. And that's the thing, there's some days that your ass is gonna be dragging, and you're not on your best game, and you're not, your sparkling, scintillating self. And on those days, you want the person, and I think that's, to be able to do it. I think that's the thing in a relationship, is if you don't take the temperature of the relationship every day. That's what I call it. And that's what I liked about, getting engaged. That's what I liked being married, is because before it'd be like, how are we doing this hour? Yeah. Are we good? Are we happy? Are we in love? Are we good? Good? And then you wait, how about now? So you're gonna have bad weeks.
But don't you think that goes into parenting also, where you have to pick your battles with your children, and your children are excelling, like your son? Let's talk about your son for 1 second.
I'm happy to talk about my son at any point. I'm a very proud dad of both my kids. My son just graduated from college 2 weeks ago, and but while attending a fine, upstanding university, he also was a producer on the album Big Fish Theory. Yep.
Staples.
Vince Staples. Shout out to Vince, one of the greats. And so he produced 5 of the tracks on that, and that was voted the 7th best album of the year last year by Entertainment Weekly.
Such slackers, this whole family.
It's really, it's rough. But here's the thing about that is, like, I felt bad because he's a very high achieving kid, and we were like, oh my God, what's my daughter gonna do?
How does she follow his footsteps?
Right, we were worried about that, to be honest. And I gotta tell you, she just graduated from high school, and I'm again the proud dad. Killed it. Yeah. Killed it. They just had an award ceremony, and she won like a bunch of awards, and she's dynamic, darling, and loving, and compassionate, and smart, and funny, and beautiful.
So I think we know the next reality show we want to see. We want to see of your family. We want to see the inside scoop of what goes on.
With the Seacoffs.
I mean, just brilliant and obviously very fun.
I think there'd be a lot of kvetching. It's a Yiddish word,
I didn't go to Yale, so I don't know that word.
Well, yes, my son just graduated from there, and my daughter will be matriculating there in the fall.
Well, if not a reality show, then maybe a sequel to this book.
Yes,
for sure.
By the way, the
launching next week.
The book comes out on Tuesday.
Yes.
It's available for pre-order on Amazon. All formats, paperback, the Kindles, the hardback, and the audiobook will be coming up there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time, your talent with us this morning. It was a pleasure to meet you. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to announce
that Good Morning La La Land is now being featured on Connect TV.
That's right, you can check it out on Apple TV, Roku, iOS, and Android, as well as on the web.
Check us out, we're going to be everywhere, literally.
We are going to believe, connect, and change the world. It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I am so excited because the Potash twins are in the house.
Yes.
Good morning, guys.
We're in the house and on the couch. I love it.
I feel like somebody should sound the trumpets or the horns or something.
You know
That
what?
should be me.
If it wasn't 9 in the morning, we would be playing happily.
It's not 9 in the morning.
What is it?
It's like 10 something.
Oh,
yeah, you're a little
I
behind
haven't
on
looked at a
that.
clock in a while.
Well, we've got the bites, but we don't have the beats. So you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
There were beats earlier.
There were some beats going on. Yeah.
For sure.
Commercial break only.
Oh, absolutely. You guys have created such a brand and name for yourself. Take us back to when it all started in New York, playing jazz. Let's talk about it.
So I think we should take it back even before that.
I was
We're
just gonna
from
say that.
Nebraska, so
Yes.
this whole thing is very crazy for us.
We're
But
from the farm territory.
the first day, well, do you want to talk about how we got to New York City, or should we just jump right into New York City?
No, let's talk about how we got to New York City.
I'll let you
So,
go.
living in Nebraska, you don't really encounter a lot of people in music or in TV or anything. We snuck backstage to see, so we're jazz musicians originally, that's what we still do, but we snuck backstage to see Wynton Marsalis, who's like the biggest icon in jazz for our entire, this century. And we snuck backstage and we performed for him, and he was, I don't know, I can't put words in his mouth, but I think he was blown away a little bit.
So it was like an impromptu.
We snuck backstage, we kind of just like jammed for him, and at the end, it took like 2 hours, and at the end he gave us his cell phone number, was like, if you want to, you guys need to be in New York City. If you want to do this, you got to be in New York City.
Wow.
And we kept developing that relationship, and a couple years later, we had full ride scholarships to every school in the city that we wanted to.
And the first night we moved to New York City, we ended up playing at Lincoln Center with John Batiste, who's now the band leader for Stephen Colbert.
Wow.
And he's just a legend and a friend of ours who
Good mentor.
helped us through the whole process.
How much fun are you guys having?
We have
I'm having a good time. I mean, when you're the star of the show, I don't know.
So take us to New York. You're in New York.
So
you're
New
playing.
York is kind of like the jazz and food
Mecca,
I think.
yeah.
Mecca, yeah, exactly. So we just kind of soaked it up. We went to see everybody we could see. We'd go backstage and talk to people about everything and try to learn what we could, and then meanwhile eating the best food we could find.
And being in music school, kind of. Like we were in music school, but
Manhattan School of Music,
we were
shout
trying
out.
to soak everything in, maybe except for the educational experience. But it was a different type of educational experience. Let's
Right.
put it that
Definitely.
way.
And now you're hosting Bravo TV's new hit, Beats and Bites.
Yeah.
We
Beats
have a
and
look
Bites.
at the trailer. Let's take a peek.
Let's go to it.
Roll.
How did you guys meet?
In the room. We met on the street. We're the Potash twins.
We travel the world doing what we do best.
Cheers. Playing chart-topping jazz.
And obsessing over great food.
We're gonna go ahead and make this Henny slushy.
Oh my god.
Oh, you gotta slurp it.
No.
Slip it.
And bringing our friends together for both.
What better people to be sharing dinner with right now than two masters of two different art forms? Dude, doesn't he feel like a musician, like an artist, like a rapper? Like
He is an artist.
Sometimes it's good to just sit in an emotion, get full.
This is Beats and Bites.
Awesome.
What do you think?
I smile every time I watch that. I'm just like, this is real. I can't believe that.
What do I think? Where is my party invitation? I would like to come to this dinner.
Anytime you want. You know you're always invited.
Well, thank you very much. I will accept.
What we love about Beats and Bites is, I mean, who doesn't like music and who doesn't like food? Beats and Bites is the intersection where those two collide, but we say it's so much more than that because it's kind of a window into
the creative process.
That any artist has. So whether you're a chef or a musician, the way you approach our art form is very unique to who you are. You know, and we try to pair these people that have similar processes. So in Wynton and Tom Colicchio, that episode, these guys are very technically driven people. These are the kind of artists that wake up every day and practice
and try to get better at something they're already amazing at.
Yeah, and it's crazy to be like, Wynton's 55 or something, has more Grammys than anybody I know, and practices more than me. And it's like, what are you working towards? You're already at the pinnacle. It's like,
to be a 24-year-old and sitting at that table, we're soaking in what they're trying to tell us. But I think that's one of the best things that the viewers get to watch is it doesn't matter what art form you're in or if you're not an artist, but you get to see two people who are at the top of their game at any game and figure out what their process is, and it helps you get better at whatever you're doing.
And by the way, we're eating at some of the best restaurants in the world. So it's like, if that conversation wasn't enough to get you in there, you're like, oh, and I can see Tom Colicchio's newest creations. You want to see that.
So who do you still want to invite to dinner? Who haven't you had?
The one I'm trying to put together now is Chance the Rapper with Grant Atkins, because Grant Atkins is Alinea, the 3 Michelin star restaurant, and they're both very creative people, and they said that they've never had a meal together at Alinea, and I'm like, okay, I think we can try to do this.
But this is what's so cool because jazz really represents all the different musicians coming together, right? Tell us a little bit what jazz represents to you.
I mean, jazz is an improvisational art form. It's America's original music form. So it's one of those things that we say we don't have a genre that we can really put ourselves in because we say whatever our personality comes through is the genre we're doing at the time. So having all these people together in an art form that's we don't get to rehearse with them. We don't get to practice with them. We don't know what we're going to do. We don't get to practice with each other.
So jazz kind of prepares us for this weird thing where we just, after a meal, we just jam with this person.
So a rapper comes and sits down at the table. We have to play something. They freestyle over it. Or Wynton Marsalis, we share a birthday with Wynton, so we're like, let's play Happy Birthday. What key? Doesn't matter. Just start playing. Cameras rolling, and all of us have to figure out what's happening.
And then you got to be oh, is that do I care if that goes out to millions of people? So jazz definitely prepares you to kind of go with the flow, be able to do anything. And we say it's great for us because we want our personality to come through. And what better way than just being us at the time? You know, if you're a rapper or you're not freestyling or you're a rock musician, you're just going to play a song you've probably played a billion times. Jazz is the best for us because we can be ourselves in that moment in time, and it's completely unique to that moment in time.
I love how you guys do life.
You are killing it. I like how we do life too.
But. What are the glasses? Tell us about the glasses.
So this is a collaboration with iBobs. It's a great company. Honestly, the story is great. They invited us to come in there and check out the glasses. But that's not how it works.
This is one of those places where Jason, the designer from iBobs, puts glasses on you. You don't get to see anything.
He puts it on us, and
I was like, I'm not wearing watermelon glasses. And he goes, you know what? In the summer they're watermelon, and over the holidays they're Christmas. And I was like, okay, that's a weird way to think about that. We're Jews, so okay, Christmas glasses.
It was crazy because our audience just attached to it. Immediately they're like, they have to wear this all the time. And then, it does make us pretty recognizable. So, I'm not complaining in that area.
On Instagram, you've been voted one of the top 15 most stylish twins.
Yeah.
I think they were only looking at me. I don't think they took it as into account. But
you're wearing, the inverse jacket that I'm wearing. So, and I'm pretty sure I picked this out.
You didn't pick it out. I know you didn't pick it out.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't start.
Well, tell people where they can find you and tune into your new show.
Definitely at Potash Twins, POTASHTWINS on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Check the show out, Beats and Bites, on the Bravo Now app or BravoTV.com.
So awesome, you guys.
So amazing. Cool. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more and all of our guests on Good Morning La La Land.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, associate producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network, but you already knew that. And today, I am in the beautiful Los Angeles with my girl,
Jazz Moye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, coming to you from Bel Air. Absolutely La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV network, we had Reshape with Ali Landry, and on that show was Gail Becker.
She is the creator of Cully Power Pizza. It's gluten-free, guilt-free, and absolutely delicious.
We had Soul Reboot with our amazing host, Allison Charles.
And a special guest, Sahara Rose.
We had What's Good, hosted by Amy Paffrath and Jocelyn Walter, and on that show was
Heartbroken Anonymous.
Naz Perez. We had hashtag Harry and Kelly with our amazing hosts Harry Howard and Kelly Russo. And on that show,
Focus TV family member, Ms. Laura Odegaard, host of Millennial Life.
We love you. Ms. Jeslyn Moyer, who was on Good Morning La La Land.
We were absolutely motivated by Natalie Ellis. She is the creator of The Boss Babe. Yes, she is the OG Boss Babe.
Yes.
We also had Lori Harder, as well as Therese Germain, who's created a new dating and life counseling service called The Compass, really giving us a new direction.
We had Focus TV family, Sally Cologne.
She is a filmmaker extraordinaire, female director, producer, and documentarian.
Yes.
And also,
another Focus TV family member, Tanya Memi.
Absolutely living it. And we are so excited to announce the latest issue of the Focus magazine. Gracing the cover is Miss Kelly Gore. She is the filmmaker behind Heal. In these pages, you'll find a great article, Not All Heroes Wear Capes, about Sally Cologne. Also on the cover, Mr. Mark Teschner, 9-time Emmy Award-winning producer, as well as Ms. Ellen Rakuten. She served as one of the executive producers on Oprah Winfrey's show for 23 years and has won an enormous 13 Emmys for her creative work.
Thanks so much for tuning in to This Week in Focus. Have a great day, guys. I'm Victoria Simone.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Welcome back. What a day. Oh my gosh, Thought Thursday, all these incredible, extraordinary people. And I have one really important question for all of you guys. Which pastry?
I wanted the popcorn, but someone has a button.
It was mine.
What's in here, by the way?
This is a bear claw. So
Oh
that's
my.
delicious. You got
I have a plate.
S'mores macaroons. Right there.
Okay.
Salted caramel.
This one?
Yeah, roll.
Plates, anybody?
Plates, plates,
Yeah,
plates.
Share my gluten-free Pop-Tarts.
This is so sweet.
Tell us a little bit more about the Henry, where they can find you.
Well, the Henry is located in the heart of West Hollywood on 120 North Robertson, right across from the Ivy, and we are open all day. We're an all-day restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. We're never closed, and there's always a seat for you guys. Please come and see us.
That's right.
Yeah.
So many amazing people here.
You have your seat reserved already.
Absolutely.
This
When
is the
we're
best
not here,
pastry
we're
I've
there.
ever had. I'm not even kidding.
I know you want a little spoon. There you go.
Are you serious?
That's where you want.
But I can't use this to eat it, right? No.
Now you're going to have to go and get your spoon.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You can't have something I don't
We're coming
have.
back for more than the spoon.
We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and iTunes.
All right, please like, share, and comment, you guys. We're waking up the world together. Have a wonderful day, and go get some pastries already.
Good morning.
We'll see you at the Henry La La Land.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No, serious.